Yeah, and one thing I actually installed today was we got electricity put out to a garden shed, and we got a freezer put out there.
Yep.
Okay.
So freezer is one I will want to do, because if anything happens to the you've got a huge freezer full of food, you don't want to
Yeah.
leave without, I don't know, leaving the door open or for it to break or get turned off accidentally.
Yeah.
So I will be adding some automations on that, and I'd be interested to know, I don't know, does anyone, I suppose you're getting into kind of like, is machine learning at a certain point to kind of notice, like for something to learn what's the normal freezer patterns, and
Yeah.
but I'm
Well,
sure
I mean, it might be as easy as something like getting a temperature probe that's enclosed in like glycol or something, right? So, because what that does is it basically acts as a temperature barrier or a thermal barrier to say like so. Because a lot of times when you open a freezer, for example, you get a rush of warm air that goes into the freezer and cold air coming out, right? But that glycol, so if you have a normal temperature, whatever, whether it's a standard probe or whatever it is, what ends up happening is that ends up being you'll get that spike and then back and spike and then back. Whereas with the glycol barrier, what'll happen is it'll take longer, so that spike won't be a spike. It'll be
sure.
if it even notices, it'll be a bump. So then that way
Yeah.
it's more consistent, right? So then you just look for anomalies in your
Yeah.
any of those pieces.
I think I might even be able to do it as simple as like, because a freezer, I think they have a rating, right, for a certain number of hours that it's okay for them not to have electricity. So I could even do in the last 8 hour period or the last day, is it way off in either up or down, and that should give me a good indication of if something really bad happened.
What you could do, I'm wondering if you could just create something that, obviously, if you know what the current output of the freezer is, right, and then every 5 minutes or something, you just add that to a number helper in Home Assistant and just like keep summing that number. And then at midnight, reset it back to 0. And then you get like a daily, how much does the freezer consume?
Yeah, we don't even need to do that. Home Assistant does all that for us, because the plug exposes the energy. So I have that in the statistics. That's all there in the database, you know. So we'll we'll see. Obviously, with a 3-month-old baby, time for automations can be curtailed, shall we say?
Yes.
Yeah.